Sitting here with Malik Jackson, new defensive coordinator in Carlstad Crusaders. Welcome to Sweden, Malik.
Thank you very much.
First time in Sweden,
Very.
Second time overseas, first time coaching. How does that feel?
It's different, but it's fun. I mean, it's coaching wise, you hope to have the game kind of brings you different opportunities, and this is by far the most unique and the best one so far. So very much appreciate being here and all the hospitality to everybody, all the players, the coaches, the people who surround the team. Everybody's been nothing but great to me. So very much appreciated.
Tell me a little bit about your background as coaching in the U.S.
Well, my background in coaching actually begins with my father. He's coached as long as I've been alive, and I've followed him and was into reading playbooks as a young guy. And so this was pretty much a given. If there's anybody that was born to be a coach, it was me. And so I started off at the high school level and kind of moved up, I guess, and ended up at Monterey Peninsula College, ended up at American River College in Sacramento, and then spent 12 years at San Francisco City College, which is kind of how I got here, because I didn't personally coach Martin Falk, but he was a part of the team and we hit it off pretty good. And then after 12 years and a very, 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 very good career at City College, I moved on to De Anza College as a defensive coordinator for the last 2 years. So yeah, it's, the people along the way, the student athletes that I've had along the way have made me a better person, and hopefully I've done a little bit for them, in the meantime.
4 national championships during your period at the San Francisco City College. Why was that program so successful?
Well, it was successful before I got there, and part of the good part of it was, they were such a tight-knit group that there really wasn't any ego involved. All you really had to do was show up and do your part, and and the thing kind of ran itself. They built a very special place there, because a lot of the coaches and most of the coaches either were there for 20, 30 years or they played there. And so the pride that they have in the program is nothing like I've ever seen. I mean, because everybody kind of wore the color. And the standard that they held each other to, there was no bad day. I mean, there's a couple bad practices, but it's hard to, and everybody was pretty good. I mean, let's be honest about it. It's I don't really know what to say about it other than when you don't want to be the team that has a bad year, and a bad year there is like 2 losses is a bad year. Well, 1 loss is a bad year. So they have a 12-0, 13-0 now standard. So, losing a game is just really unacceptable. So if you lose a game at City College, you hear about it from the alumni, and you don't want that. I mean, and also you hear about it from Coach Rush, but it was definitely what made me into a winner, because I think when you spend that much time there, when you show up every day with the expectation that you have to be good, and it's just, you can't have a bad day. Over the course of 12 years, that kind of forms who you are after a while. And so I really owe the program, it's a whole lot more than anything I did. And so, and it took me a couple of years even to catch up to what they were doing there. But once you catch on, they put you in the family right away. But once you catch on, it's a pretty special ride.
We can see some similarities with Carlstad Crusaders.
Most definitely.
Winning teams,
yes,
good
indeed.
Camaraderie, and a good social environment. What are the differences between coming to Sweden here? You've only been here for a camp and a couple of practices.
Not much difference. And you're absolutely right. One of the first things I heard was, we win championships and we're one big family. And that's what the mentality they have there is. And the differences are minimal. I mean, for me, I have to be a little bit more detailed because I can't just say stuff. I mean, I have to make sure I'm speaking, because it's a foreign language. I mean, we have some similarity. We all speak English. But, some of the things that I can get away with back at home as far as, being not as detailed. I can't get away with that here. And so it's actually really helping me. It really, just because I really have to think and plan out ahead what's going to happen, and as far as coaching and as far as players, and just making sure that what we want to accomplish that day, making sure everybody's on the same page, and especially on the same page, or I'm on the same page as them. I came in with the philosophy of it's a lot easier for one guy to adjust to 40 than 40 guys to just change everything and just do whatever I want because I'm the defensive coordinator. When you have the history of success that the Crusaders have had, that's not a very logical way of thinking. And I'm really not just that kind of a person. I think one of the main things I want to do is just kind of play my role in the success. And kind of like at City College, you don't want to be the guy who comes in and they start losing. And so after coming off the championship and maybe 4 or 5 of the last 6 championships, if there's a drop-off, there's only going to be a finger pointed in one direction, and that's right here. So we definitely don't want that.
Tell me a little bit about your defensive philosophies.
Pretty aggressive. I don't like getting scored on. I flew a long way to give up any touchdowns, and so I would think any goal is to be the best defense in the world. Since we're here in Sweden and we're here in Europe, we want to be the best one out there, and I don't think you hired me to do anything less than that. And that's not to be cocky about it, but that's kind of the truth. I mean, you don't play defense to get scored on. But philosophically, a lot of it's on matchups. A lot of it's kind of like everywhere. You see what the other team's bad at, and you want to exploit that. As far as coverage-wise, I've always been a secondary guy, and I'm pretty confident in my abilities in doing that, and thinking I can pretty much cover just about anything. Nobody on offense really recreates the wheel, and neither do we on defense. So preparation is always key. Planning for a little bit of everything is key. I don't, you can prepare for a couple things and just kind of deal with the rest, and I really don't believe in that. I think you can watch their film, prepare for what they do best, but also, when they're good players or they're going to put their best players in a position for success, and we have to be able to match that and figure out where that guy's going to be and kind of adjust our defense to that and do it quickly. So philosophically, I just think, I believe in hitting the quarterback. If that guy wants to drop back there, he better protect himself or he's going to have a long day.
Thank you very much, Malik. Looking forward to this season.
Most definitely. So am I.